It's great to see everyone. Thank you for making it this morning to practice. Yeah, some of us are kind of just breathing and processing. Big event here yesterday in Boulder, really close to home for a lot of us. That was my walkable grocery store for the last 3 years. I just moved away 4 months ago. It's just wild. My next door neighbor, we pulled up the news report. First picture we see, my next door neighbor's a cop. He was on the scene. It's just wow. So, I wanted to talk about just processing events like this from my experience using yoga and meditation. So, we use inner focus to get to know what it's like in our own bodies. And while yoga there are many dimensions of it where we're pursuing peace and we're pursuing balance and clarity. Um, there's really important moments when we are triggered, when our deeper issues come to the forefront. And in my opinion and experience, those are it's like finally the dress rehearsal is done. Finally, all this practice I'm doing has a moment to really mean something. And the times when we're really cracked open or feeling raw or just almost out of control, like deep stuff is coming up in us, that is why we practice, is to meet ourselves in those moments. And it's really compassion that we bring to ourselves in those moments. And not to say that we are eradicating bad feelings, but rather we're being with our feelings as they are. And um, in yoga, we're taking some of the pressure off when we're relaxing, when we're going into our hearts and opening a little bit. Um, so if you feel the repercussion of a strong event in your community, like some of us are feeling today, you have the power to help. And community service and reaching out aside, that is really important. But what we're here to do in yoga is feeling and processing what's in ourselves, and not suppressing things or um, kind of increasing pressure, but we're really being with ourselves so we can see that these storms can heal, these storms can pass, and we can be part of that healing process. Well, I could go on and on about trauma healing, but we'll just do a trauma healing yoga class. And if you ever want to talk more, I'm always happy to talk about this sort of thing. So that's the goal of our poses, really healing and releasing inside we'll do a lot of free movement. So if you just want to sit comfortably to get started, you may, if you're using the yoga playlist, get that started for some music. As you tune in to your inner state, let yourself relax. Breathing and being with yourself as you are. I'll invite you into the sipping breath, which I find has almost like it can mimic what happens when we cry in a way, kind of the breathing that can happen when we're releasing. So I find this to be a really healing breath. I'll take us through one round sitting up, and then we'll do a round where we're moving our spine. So we're breathing in and out through the nose. Take your next exhale and release all the way. Breathing in, take little sips. Fill yourself one extra sip and then out through the nose. Exhale all the way. So that's the sipping breath. Take a few more rounds. Inhaling. Sips of breath to fill up and then a little extra full and then releasing. 3 more breaths in and out. Finish your exhale and take a moment to soften and perceive any effect. See how you feel. For the next round, the optional movement is exhaling forward. So you're exhaling through your nose to empty out and fold forward. When you breathe in, you're sitting up with those little sips of air. So just an option, or you could be sitting tall the whole time. Exhale, empty out, fold forward. Inhale, fill your lungs sip by sip, and then just a little extra sip at the top. Exhale as you fold forward. 3 more rounds. The next time you come up to sit tall, relax. If you want to exhale through your mouth, that's an option. Another moment to pause and feel. Child's pose is next when you're ready. One movement I find, or a movement principle I find really helpful for trauma is shaking. So in your child's pose, just start a little side to side jiggle. Imagine that your spine is a jump rope and you're kind of shaking the end of it to make ripples through your whole spine and from that through your whole body. So just go into that movement. Deep exhales whenever they feel like they arise. Slow down your movement. Feel the resonance like a bell that has been struck. There's a vibration in the stillness. Take a breath to relax on the inside of your spine, all the way to the sacrum. Rise up to hands and knees. Cow-cat devotional. Open your heart, tilt the tailbone up for cow, back bend. And then reverse for cat. Curl yourself in, sit back into child's pose. Keep your elbows low to the ground. Rise up, open your heart, and then lift the elbows at the last second into cow. Nice. Curl your spine, cat, back into child's. So going through this flow, we typically would breathe out on the way back to child's and breathe in on the way forward to cow. but I like to give you room to move in your own way. So if it's helpful to breathe and move on the rhythm, then go ahead and do that. Or maybe you take pressure off. The next time you rise up, cow pose, use that shape in your spine to head into downward dog. Handprints may walk forward to lengthen out your stance. Feet are hip width apart. I like the hands a little narrower than shoulder width sometimes. Just give that a try and see if it takes pressure off of your neck, driving more strength into the triceps and outer armpit muscle area. Shake your head, yes and no. Find that free movement, jiggling the jump rope. Rise up to stand. Take your time, standing tall. Sweep the arms up, breathe in. With your exhale, arms wide down by your side. We'll take a few wood choppers. Bring feet to the sides of your mat. Hands are going to interlace, that's your axe. And I'll just start into the movement if you want to watch a couple first. So the knees are going to bend. It's a very momentum movement. So we're bending the knees for shock absorbing, trying to release the spine on the way down and up. So just a couple rounds, propelled with knees bending. Nice. The next time you're forward, just stay here. You may want to straighten legs one at a time or both. Take a breath down the inside of your spine. Walk yourself back into plank pose. Option to hold in plank or take some mountain climbers just to heat up a little bit. We've got 3 breaths for mountain climbers. It's just elbow to knee, minimal sway in hips, engaging your core. One more breath. With exhale, drop knees, settling into table pose. Walk the knees a little closer together, and we're going to do a fire hydrant movement with the right leg. Bend right knee, opening out to the side. Taking a few pulses. Also keeping hips level so the right side glute doesn't lift. Add your left arm if you want. So the left arm is going to bend like a robot arm and kind of the mirror image of your right knee. Left elbow will press out to the side. Breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Back into table, going to left side, finding your fire hydrant movement. Hands press down through index finger base, through thumb base, taking pressure from the outer wrist. Pelvis level. And add your right arm. So we've got that robot arm shape. Breathing deeply for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Lower down to your belly. Just a breath for the cobra. Open your heart. Exhale, hands and knees, back to downward dog. Walk up, feet to hands, standing forward fold. Inhale, rise up tall, reach your arms high. Exhale, circle sweep arms down, standing mountain pose. Let's do some more wood chopping. So interlace hands, maybe switch your weird thumb on top, feet about as wide as the mat. And if you want to make the exhale on the downswing, that can feel really good. Just 3 more. Full body release. Nice. Folding forward all the way. Walk yourself back into plank. Bring forearms to the mat. We'll take 3 breaths in a forearm plank. Broaden the collarbones. Set the head of the arm bone into the shoulder socket. Firm abs, firm quads to help lift the weight of your legs and hips. 3 breaths. Warm and strong in your core. With your exhale, tap the knees down. Nice job. Send your right leg back, left arm forward. For a balancing table, breathe in. Exhale, elbow to knee, cat spine. Inhale, reach, stretch forward and back. Exhale, curl under. One more round. The next time you're long like an arrow, hold here. Unhammock your spine with your front ab muscles. Draw the lower front ribs slightly in, the navel slightly up toward the back of your spine. Nice job. Drop your hands, curl the right knee through, and let's set up a lunge. Right foot between the hands. I like to slide the back knee a little further back to get that back thigh stretch. Warm into the lunge with the front leg straight or straight enough, and then bend the knee. Next step is lifting lunge. Plant your front foot. I'll teach the pose with the back knee down, but if you want to lift it, go right ahead. Sweep your arms overhead. Full exhales and full inhales. Stay in your lunge and just touch the back of your head with your hands. Elbows wide. A moment to twist. Pull the front ribs in, so less back bend, and see if that helps you twist. Once more to each side. Nice job. Face forward, palms on the mat. We're coming into standing splits. Shift onto your right foot, left leg high in the sky. Draw your torso long down the standing leg, like your heart is headed for your right foot. Press through the inner arch of your left leg. One more breath in. Exhale, big step back to lunge. Palms to mat, step into plank, and down into table. Left leg back, right arm forward. Breathe in. Exhale, elbow to knee. Following movement with your awareness. The next time you're reaching long like an arrow, activate and get extra long. Tug of war from fingertips to toe tips. And then unhammocking the spine just a bit with a tiny pelvic tuck, zippering up the front ab muscles just a bit. Another breath in this pose. Hand to mat, step left foot through, create your lunge on this side. Start with a warming movement, just lengthening and bending into the front leg. Lift your lunge, arms overhead. Anjane Asana, the crescent lunge. One thing I'm feeling in particular in this pose is the psoas muscle stretching. So that is a front body muscle, but it's deep to your internal organs. So it might feel kind of like an ab stretch, but it's really deep. It's like against your spine, running from the top inner thigh to the low back, but on the inside. And one way to feel that a little more is to tweeze the front heel and back knee a little closer. So that will engage that muscle, help you feel it stretching. Hands to back of head, remove some of the back bend and take your twist. Side to side, elbow forward, elbow back. One more on each side. Shift forward, standing splits. Right leg in the sky. Stand tall on your left leg. Push through your right footprint and let your torso get long. Maybe you reach it forward, like a little halfway lift, and then see what kind of release is possible, forward and down. Right pinky toe points to the ground. Sometimes you can see it when you look under your leg. One more inhale. Exhale, step back, touch the mat. We've got a moment for yogi's choice. If you want to flow, if you want to chill pill, see what you feel. And take a breath right where you are. Come up to stand, feet to hands or hands to feet. Rise up. Sweep arms high as you breathe in. Exhale, hands by your heart. And pause to connect with your breath, a sense of compassion, understanding. For balance, let's balance onto the left foot to start. Hands can be on hips, or if you want some extra work, take the arms together behind your back. Raise up your right knee for the standing staff, and then we'll circle out the knee. Relax in shoulders, they're settling down the back. Try to keep hips level so the right hip isn't lifting to get the knee higher. Nice. Tree pose when you're ready. Knee to the side. Press foot and inner thigh or inner calf against each other. 3 deep breaths, finding your balance. With your inhale, come up to standing staff, right knee forward. Exhale, warrior 3. Kick the leg back. And the analogy is a pair of scissors. So as far as you want to come forward in your torso, that's how far your back leg will lift. I feel the pose is guided by the back leg more than the forward bend. So just keep pushing and lifting. Slight inward rotation on the back thigh. Bring the knee forward and sit into the eagle. Bend your left knee, right knee on top of left. We've got a bear hug. Let's see. Let's do right elbow on the bottom for that bear hug. Option to spiral the forearms. Shoulders move down the back as you breathe. Sit a little bit lower. Nice job. Just stand up. Let's shake it out with some bear twists. See that you have enough clearance for the arms to spiral wide. Make your way to stand. Let's balance on the right foot for the second side. So hands on hips, that's a supportive balance option. And then if you want the challenge, hands come behind the back and you weave the fingers the strange way. Stay tall in your heart as you point left knee forward for the standing staff. Start to circle out that knee. Full exhales and full inhales. Tree pose, Vrikshasana. Finding your balance. And you get into the root system, down through the footprint. Sometimes a tap root is really helpful, like dandelion style, just this big long root the size of your body balancing you down into the earth. Hug foot and inner leg against each other, tapping into your core. Nice job. Standing staff, left knee forward. At times, I often shock absorb the standing knee, just tiny bend, leveling hips. Shoot back into warrior three. Kick the left leg back, heart forward. And with any of our balance poses, you may step out at some point and then reconsider. Come back in. Don't jump to the fullest version of the pose. Ease in. Fade in like a fading light switch. You're going to fade into your version of the pose. Standing staff, left knee forward. Eagle, bend knees. Stack left knee on top of right. Sit low. We've got left elbow on the bottom for that bear hug. Open up your shoulders. Maybe you want to spiral the arms for eagle arms or stay in your bear hug. One goal in this sequence is to fatigue our leg and hip muscles. So if it's working, just stay with it. You're doing great. One last breath in the eagle pose, the guardian eagle. Stand up, plant feet, come on into bear twist, shaking things out. There can be a little tap where you bend the elbows. All right, standing forward fold, roll down. Feet about the width of your hips, feet parallel to each other. We're going to articulate our spine, so just take your time, tuck your chin, really feel your vertebrae shifting, just one at a time. There'll be a little ab strength once you start moving into your low back. Dangle all the way into your forward fold. Take a moment for that little jump rope movement. Maybe it starts from the head or it starts from the tailbone. Just see what feels right. So the image is we're jiggling one end of a rope to make these ripples all the way through, and that's your spine. Bend your knees. We've got one last strong pose, chair pose. Arms reach up. Rotate your palms slightly behind you so the thumbs open to the side. Plug the shoulders down into their sockets. We've got 3 breaths, or no, 5 breaths. If you want to really turn up the heat, we're coming onto tiptoes and sinking a little bit lower. Exhale, there's a shrink wrapping of your torso as your core muscles help the exhale out. Nice, sit a little lower. With your last breath, just smile, soften your face, and come all the way down, however you come down to sit. All right. Hope you're having fun. I'm having fun. Down to your elbows. Let's just rock out the hips side to side. Windshield wipers. Have enough space between your feet that you can fit your whole shin bone between them. It's okay if your knees don't go all the way to the mat. Have a seat. And we're coming into the fire log. Let's do the left leg first. Hold on to your left leg, give it a little cradle. And then for fire log, the knees are a little narrower than a cross-legged position. Putting the knee and ankles one on top of each other. There could be a lot of space under that top knee, and that is okay. With your hands behind you, lift your hips and reposition yourself more on the front of your sit bones or your glute flesh, sitting a little forward. Hands to feet. We're going to create that little fire log rub. Push your feet into your hands, push your hands into your feet. Soften shoulders down the back. So we're just lighting a little fire in our hips. And try to relax the top of your thigh and go into the hip joint as the feet push into the hands. Nice job. We're coming into the pigeon. So sit up. Your right leg is going to stay where it is, and left leg swings around behind you. And then you'll position yourself into the pigeon. Your right foot will probably come a little closer. I don't teach pigeon where the shin has to be parallel to the mat. I teach pigeon where your foot will go where it wants to go. This shin will usually be diagonal. Yeah. Tall on your fingertips. Open your heart for a back bend. And release forward when you're ready. Let your spine soften. There might be a little jiggle, shaking one end of the jump rope, and then you settle in a little more. You may want to try the sipping breath, a few sips of air on your inhale, filling up a little extra, and then that deep exhale. Come out slowly, Walk onto your hands. Come out the way you came in. You're going to sit onto your right hip, pull your left leg around, and then this side we'll finish with a twist. Your right knee might come a little more to the center of the mat. The left foot could step to the outer knee, that's the full shape, or it's just fine to plant the foot on the other side of the knee so you feel balance in your hips. Right arm to the left knee, breathe the left arm up, and then peel the left shoulder blade back as you twist. Pliability as you breathe. Collarbones open, sides of the neck relaxing down. Face forward, undo your legs, and we'll just take a moment to release a little bit before you do the other side. So see what this means to you. Maybe you come into the windshield wiper movement. Sometimes if your low back is speaking to you, just a little bit of a reverse table will feel really good. Second side of the fire log, Agni Stambhasana. We have left knee on the bottom. Give your right leg a cradle. Align knee and ankle joints, one on top of each other. It's normal for there to be a lot of space under the top knee. Bring your hands back. Just take that little adjustment where you're going to lift your hips just a bit and kind of sit more to the front of your sitting bones. Hands to feet, shoulders down the back, and then the friction of the fire log, pushing hands into feet and then feet into hands. Breathing to fan this flame. Try to soften the top of the thigh. Particularly, it's the right upper and inner thigh. See if there's a release that can happen. One more breath. Rise up. For the pigeon, left leg stays where it is. This is always one of those times I'm like, which is my left leg? Just takes a moment. Right leg's gonna swing back as you set up your pigeon pose. Time to reposition. For all hip opening, you want to make sure your knees feel fine. The opening is happening maybe in the thighs, the back of the hips. There's no torsion or pressure on the knee joint. Lift heart, finding your back bend, and fold forward when you're ready. One more breath all the way to your navel. With your exhale, release deeply. Rise up with your hands, and then we're retracing our steps. So back leg is going to swing forward. We're setting up the seated spinal twist, Ardha Matsyendrasana. Choose your front foot position, left hand to the right knee. Sweep the right arm up and behind you. Right shoulder blade a little toward the spine as you twist. There could be that little jump rope movement at any point, just a softening through your spine. Head could rotate toward each shoulder, relaxing your neck. Lifting up through the roof of your mouth, a slight nod down in the chin. Nice. Release, twist. If there are movements that felt good to release after the first side. And we're just coming into a seated position. For a quad stretch, I'm going to mirror you. So you're going to drop over to your right elbow and then bring the left leg behind you. So you're holding on to the left outer ankle. And then there can be a little ab engagement where you're kind of pulling the pubic bone toward your navel, reaching slightly back with your left kneecap to deepen the stretch. You may nod the chin up and down. Feels really good if I just sort of drape my neck down to the right. And see what works for your neck as you breathe. Just drop your left leg where it is. Bring your left arm over and we'll soften. I think this one's sometimes called the wheel of life pose. Just relaxing. Maybe you would look toward your right, taking the twist through your upper back. Walk up onto hands, cross-legged sitting, and then to your left side. Down onto left elbow, taking right leg for the quad stretch. Like our other hip stretches, sometimes we don't think of like quads as part of the hips, but they are. They affect and they matter a lot to the hip joint. If knee ever doesn't feel right in a quad stretch, there can be a slight movement. In this dimension, we go closer to the mat or closer to the ceiling, and sometimes just a little movement can help to even out the stretch for your knee. Slight tuck under in the tailbone. Right kneecap reaches slightly back. These movements might just be half-inch movements, quarter-inch, because if you're doing them right, they really make a difference. Deep breaths washing through your belly, through your hip, through the front of the thigh. Release right leg down and just turn your right arm over to the floor. Let yourself sink, and just an option to gaze to your left, twisting through your neck and upper back. Just like a honey poured onto a plate is going to spread out. Let yourself spread out. Slowly, slowly, taking up space. The breath taking up space. Rise up onto your hands. Have a seat in the staff pose. Legs extend. I'm going to take us through there's a lot of movement in this next flow, but you can take what you want from it. So the first stage is a fold forward. And then the second stage, rolling down to the floor, your legs might rise. At this point, you could bring the legs over your head. Oh, I need a little space. I kind of need a lot of space for this one. Or maybe you do a happy baby at that point. And then just retracing your steps, legs to the mat, using your core to curl the upper body up to sit and forward fold. So at your own pace, forward bend, lie on your back, raise the legs. There could be a plow shape with feet above the head or a happy baby shape. Stretch your legs forward, curl your chin up, and roll yourself to sit and forward fold. This will be our last round. If you'd like to hold in any of these poses along the way, feel free to do that. Opportunity for sipping breaths or just deep releasing breaths at any point. Release feet to the mat, lying on your back. We've got the bridge jiggle. This is a really fun one. You just have to let your spine move. It's nice for yoga at home because I find it's like a little thrusty in the pelvis, and you don't always want to do it if you're next to a stranger on the mat next to you. So you're just kind of pushing with your feet, and it's just gonna rock your pelvis. So spine is super relaxed, and we're just letting these waves move up through our spine. And while you're doing this, I'll just share some of the purpose. So in trauma release, wild animals, for example, antelope, after being pursued as prey, it will often go through this really dramatic shaking, sometimes vomiting, after the trauma of running for its life. And that is a way of ridding the trauma from its body. And for us domesticated animals, we don't always give ourselves the opportunity, or maybe it's not socially appropriate at some times to cry or shake or run, these kind of instinctual movements that might help our biology, but it's not appropriate if we're in public, for example. So I love to find these times just to do a little shaking, to do maybe some sounds out of the mouth and just really release. Just slow that down. Let yourself be in the afterglow, feeling the vibrations. And next we're coming into final relaxation. If you'd like to set yourself up with blankets, pillows, props, sweater. After a couple minutes, I'm gonna play some chanting for you, sing some chanting, which is the 21 Taras mantra. And if you have that as your practice, you're welcome to have your book and chant with me. We'll just go through it one time. And the Tara mantra is compassion, understanding that all beings, we all share the wish to be free from suffering. And as we understand this, our compassion grows to include ourselves, to include all people that we know or we don't know. And as you listen to the chant, just really let yourself relax. Let these healing vibrations, it's really this, it's like a tuning fork of compassion. These mantras just tuning us up. And if you have the book, the mantras start on page 196. Om Jet Sun Ha Pamatumara Chat Salo Chet Salo Madhuma Pano Cheni Kichi Rukatana Chicken Singin Shuti Jati Isati Wani Jona Chaksadun Kitawa Kundu Kyangwa Jani Shikte Shana Amadon Trakso Paranshi Akuti Vihura Panna Chaksasin Yatuni Chiti Kini Chani Rambhajena Shintashin Drupadikshiya Supasanten Chuyonina Chaksarijin Shekhe Sukta Agiram Bhagyawa Chuma Maru Baru Shintadope Yahweh Siti Shindutena Chaksadudara Vomide Udang Chukang Nam Chikin Poshati Nindi Upame Padukaroma Chaksajajin Santa Kumana Shobon Chokchoma Chonpororanri Sananda Yudin Shakti Dunetona Chaksatvikti Jadangeti Aroto Korapto Joma Ekunyam Shakti Ninte Vipatrupa Chaksaturiti Pachamma Roti Pavanam Pachoma Shuti Jani Tronyadente Ravotam Shinarusoma Chaksakum Shoksum Shanchati Sormutukanampajanna Maruchakipodajente Rangivochi Shuklam 시바라시 두다라기 두라띵 칭왕로지나 착수사시 성위소남 장치국파뉴마이나 두니에요에이대홍기 공파탐시남바도나 착설아외둔불진 젠타삼티신도반나 발피투나부막내레 쌍팔신도라세나 착설가바사메메타 아메뱅메우나게나 이천년경규니골비 라니봉이남바조나 착서사진용라찰디 길지농신샵지도나 전예천세이대홍기 림파동호남이게 착서대마개마지마 야련대지주요니나 소하엄당양다겐데 기타천부종단이나 착서군의 보라바위 랑이로니랍도비 니기조배 양의 불빛 립파홍리졸마니나 착서두리 샤리라피 뽕비는데사불니나 리라만나라랑비트 지등순남로아니나 착설라이소이남데 이락각전자나람나 아라니주페이지게 흑남나루 발미세나 착설라이쇼남갸고 나당미양시대나 유니보자가외지지 수동이람연바세나 착성이마다화제비 생리불이우랍사나 아라니주루다라이 심교작거렸니세나 착설리니선남그대 시외도당양가게나 응당루랑유진쇼그람 정파투리라좁니나 사와냐치두파리랑 작사와니 미쇼사지. Breathe and relax. receiving the nourishment of your practice. And we're 2 minutes past the hour. If you have a time crunch, just want to let you know. And take a moment for a little movement, waking up your body. We'll finish sitting tall, relaxing. With hands together by the heart. We can offer the benefit of the practice. This is called offering the merit, so that the effort we make today is benefiting all beings, increasing peace and compassion for everyone in our community. And just like you let go of a helium balloon and it floats up and it rises, feel the same thing from your heart center. You release, offering the benefit of compassion. Whatever the merit of this practice is, we can let it go so it can serve all beings. Thank you so much for practicing today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.